Some of the most dangerous myths about jaundice that millions of people in our country believe. Some of these are so wrong, they can actually damage your liver even more. I have seen patients end up in intensive care heading for almost liver transplant because of the liver failure by so-called these home remedies, taking all this herbal stuff. There is so much of misinformation in our country about jaundice. In this video, I will clear all these myths one by one. I am Dr. Yoganand Reddy. I am a senior medical gastroenterologist. Stay with me until the end to know everything what you need to know about jaundice. The number one myth is a sugarcane juice cures jaundice. Sugarcane juice just hydrates the body, gives you the sugar. There is no scientific evidence of sugarcane getting rid of the jaundice. The worst side is if you end up taking sugarcane juices from a roadside, you might actually end up with a liver problem because of hepatitis A or hepatitis C, which is like a water contamination related infection. So sugarcane juice does not repair the liver cells. It does not cure the hepatitis, the infection, the inflammation in the liver. If the jaundice is because of, let's say, blockage in the bile duct, it's not going to unblock the bile duct. It doesn't lower the bilirubin, that measure of jaundice what we test in your liver function test. So why was sugarcane juice chosen in the good old days? Sugarcane was previously described to be a cooling drink. It's of course very well hydrating. When you're not eating and drinking, if you're not well during an illness like viral infection, viral hepatitis, it can give you temporary strength. It's more of a supportive drink. In the olden days, obviously, there were no mixers to do fruit juices, and people, when they were ill with jaundice from hepatitis, they obviously felt weak, they had a low appetite, they were feeling tired. Sugarcane juice would give a boost of immediate calories, quick energy, feeling refreshed, but it doesn't have any effect on the liver. There was not much medical knowledge previously. There was no access to liver function blood tests. There was no access to do the scans. So there was no hepatitis testing. So in the olden days, there was not much understanding of the jaundice itself as to what caused it. Jaundice is a symptom. It's not a disease. It's yellowness in the eyes, in the skin. It's a symptom of a disease. So we need to find what is the disease, why is the jaundice. So it can be for a variety of reasons. The other myth is do not take any yellow colored foods when you're jaundiced, avoiding turmeric, bananas, papayas, mangoes. The color of these, they come from pigment or the carotenoids. That has got nothing to do with the bilirubin levels, which is what we see in jaundice. Your liver is not going to convert the food color into bilirubin to give you jaundice. So there is no science to say that by having some turmeric in your food or what you traditionally use or taking certain fruits that are yellow in color will make your underlying jaundice worse. The other mistake is when someone is jaundiced, friends, relatives, everyone starts to give all kinds of advice. Eat this, don't eat that. You should only eat simple khichdi, curd rice, buttermilk, or just have very simple rice and rasam. Remember, when the liver is injured, when there is infection, there is inflammation, there is something that is upsetting the liver, liver needs protein to regenerate. Liver is a fantastic organ. It fights back, it regenerates. But to do that, it requires protein. That requires amino acids, which obviously we get from the protein breakdown. If you put somebody on an extremely restrictive diet, it is going to delay the healing of their liver problem. Obviously, you need to avoid eating anything deep fried, heavy masala, greasy, oily foods. Try and avoid as much as possible outside foods when your liver is upset. You should eat all kinds of vegetables, all kinds of fruits, a whole variety of whole grain foods. So for people, let's say they're non-vegetarians, they can have small amount of chicken, fish, eggs that are absolutely fine in smaller quantities if they can digest. For vegetarians, you need to consume protein by other means. Lentils, legumes like rajma, chickpeas, kidney beans, paneer, small amount of mushrooms. So a wide variety of foods you should be taking, not just limiting yourself to very basic rice, rasam, khichdi, because this can affect the recovery from the whatever is causing the liver upset. The other myth is what I come across is when somebody is jaundiced, the other members of family also start to get worried, thinking that they will get it. Not all jaundice is contagious. It doesn't spread from person to person. There are, of course, viral infections like hepatitis A, hepatitis C. These are food and waterborne contagious infections. But you can get jaundice from a wide variety of other reasons, including drinking alcohol regularly. You could have gallbladder stones which may have migrated and blocking the tube. You may have fatty liver that has worsened and causing liver damage over a period of time. You can even have an autoimmune condition where your own immune system can attack your liver, or you might be taking some medicines or certain remedies, some herbal supplements that you might not even know that it is causing damage to the liver. So there are a variety of reasons. The other mistake what I see in my gastroenterology practice is someone gets jaundiced without even knowing the reason. The family members or somebody, they would have taken advice over the phone. They will tell them to just stop all the medicines, whatever they are taking. They might be diabetic. They might be taking blood pressure pills. They might be taking heart medications, thyroid. None of these should be stopped because they are not going to be damaging the liver. If you stop the medicines when you have, let's say, high blood pressure, when you have sugar, when you have heart problems, it can be dangerous. When you're already on some long-term medicines, you should never discontinue the treatment on your own without medical advice. So stopping essential medicines, in fact, can worsen your health. It can delay your recovery from the liver problem. And unfortunately, you might even end up in the hospital for weeks on end. The other common problem I see is people sometimes are passing dark urine. They get worried that, oh, I think I'm jaundiced. Concentrated dark urine can also be for a variety of reasons. So it can happen due to not hydrating properly. You might not have been drinking enough water. You could be taking some, let us say, some multivitamin B complex type medicines, or you might have eaten or drank certain juices or certain foods, certain drinks, which might also give that color. In jaundice, of course, urine darkens. That is because this direct bilirubin, or what we call as the conjugated bilirubin, gets into the urine. But everything has to go together, not just the dark urine. So dark urine doesn't mean that you're jaundice. If you're in doubt, of course, the simple thing to do is to do a blood test, a liver function test, so we can measure the bilirubin and see. The last one and the most important one, which even a lot of very educated people making these mistakes, are taking various home remedies, certain herbal supplements, thinking that this is going to work better than what the specialist gastroenterologist will tell them to take. So taking various home remedies, herbal medicines, some of these can also be toxic to the liver. They can worsen the liver inflammation. I have seen in my own experience patients who have come in with liver injury taking some sort of herbal remedies. We don't have a clue of what they are because there is no breakdown of what these ingredients are. It will be some tablet, some powder. Nobody has got a clue. If you think that by taking this you will get rid of the jaundice, you can think again, because you might end up in the hospital in a much worse situation where unfortunately some patients go on to develop liver failure as well. Remember, jaundice is not a disease. It's a symptom of, it can be variety of diseases that can affect the liver. Most people's familiarity with jaundice is the viral hepatitis, hepatitis A, that is food and waterborne. For such people, the body's immune system fights it off, recovers, just like how we recover from any viral infection. But there are a variety of other reasons. There are certain severe infections that can put somebody's liver at risk of going even into liver failure. So we need to be vigilant. There might be jaundice because there is a blockage in the liver or in the tube that drains the bile, called bile duct, either because there is a stone that has slipped out of the gallbladder, or there is a tumor that is growing in the pancreas that is pressing on the bile duct, or there is a cancer in the bile duct or liver. So there can be a blockage that can be causing the jaundice. There might be medicines that they may be taking without their knowledge. It might be upsetting the liver, or certain over-the-counter drugs without prescription, various herbal remedy, certain supplements, what they might not be thinking natural might be causing damage to the liver. So if you have noticed yellowness in your eyes, or somebody is telling that you're looking yellow, if you're in doubt, you need to consult a gastroenterologist. Don't take medicines on your own and mess your liver. Remember, your liver is a very forgiving organ, but if it gets upset, it can cause serious problems too. Thank you for listening.